sunny day in the UK, but welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are in an interesting talking point. This car will surprise a lot of people. It surprised me when it was offered to me by the owner, so thank you very much to the owner. We're going to go for an ownership review of the Kia Picanto GT Line S. S being the main factor here because this car has every option. It's basically the highest option Picanto you can physically buy in the UK in this generation. Keyless entry, keyless start. First thing to point out, a lot of new cars seem to have that, but this is a super cheap little mini hatch, I'm going to probably call it throughout this video. So keyless start, fantastic that that's integrated already into these cars. Digital climate control down here. Also, I will point out, we will activate the heated steering wheel, the heated seats, will adjust the radio with the on-wheel steering controls, and we'll take this down some B roads out in a little town, and let's go and see what these cars are actually like, because I've never actually driven a Picanto. In fact, I'm going to be the first one to admit, way back when Kia and Hyundai and all that were the cars that you weren't really bothered about. And when I saw this and when I explained to the owner, you know, I've never really shot one for the channel, he was like, it's got this and this and this, and it's got USB and aux still in a 2018 car, so you can pick and choose your connectivity devices. A big screen, it's got full leather interior, 50 mpg. It's a pretty good little car, this, as a daily driver. Anyway, let's get on, we'll go through a town first, shall we? Now, as I reverse out the parking space I parked in, big old reversing camera in a little car like this. My Lexus. So if we say that luxury cars from previous years would have had all of this in it, now it's been filtered down so much into the smallest entry level mini hatches, which is exactly what this is. You get so much value for your money. Let's talk about cost to start with, because that's probably the first thing you're going to want to know about. So they're about 15 grand, you know, just under 15 grand from the factory. This one being an 18 plate would probably retail about 12.5 grand. Now if you were to PCP that with, you know, a slight balloon at the end, 3-4 grand, with no money in, you could very easily be in this car for £200 a month or less. And that is still with the Kia warranty. And I will say that now, that is still live on this car for another 2 years, because it was a 7-year warranty. And in fact, the owner of this car has already had some warranty work carried out with a couple of buttons that were getting a little bit sticky, and they literally said, bring it round, we'll do it straight away. So that is such an awesome talking point, because a £200 a month car that you've put no money into with a small balloon at the end has still got a warranty, even down to switches and stuff, which is just such a nice thing for me to relay to you guys, because factoring in the price of stuff these days is a huge deal for me when driving some of these cars. If you're after just a little car to drive around in, is safe, is economical, could it get any better than this? Now, I try and base a lot of these videos around me going to get some sort of beverage, usually, because I like having a little drink in the day, maybe a coffee, maybe a little energy drink, you know how it is. I've come to a cafe down Cowes on the Isle of Wight, and I'm looking at basically a building site. It doesn't exist anymore, so I didn't know that. I'll show you guys, because I come here probably, it must have been 10 years ago, but as you'll see just up here, you'll come down, park here, and there's usually a cafe right here. Now there is like a food kitchen truck thing that would usually have ice creams and that's not even open. Yep, apparently I haven't been here in a while. We'll go to another location for a bevy though. Lovely little location for a couple of shots, so insert a couple of shots now. as we cruise past Cowes on the Isle of Wight. Lovely bit of coastal ocean along here with a couple of yachts and stuff. Now I took this route today because I wanted to drive it, you know, through a town. We've just gone over a couple of speed bumps, as you've just seen, just assessing what this is actually like on a dailyable level. Although it's got slightly bigger wheels than other Picantos, it still retains a lot of ride quality, which is nice. And although it's not a hunkered down, lowered sports car, you're still going to notice those little bits and bobs, especially if you've come from, you know, say other mini hatches. Like the owner has actually come from an Audi A1 into this car, and he said, do you know what, I'd never even think of buying one of these until one come in and, you know, he was looking around it going, oh wow, it's got like leather interior and loads of space and headroom and a sunroof. Things that he didn't get in his A1, heated steering wheel, didn't get in his A1. He said, yeah, the A1 looks a little bit better, it's got the Audi badge, but this had so much more tech, it still had a warranty, and it was insanely cheap to buy and to run. Let's get into running costs though. £165 a year to tax from the 1.2 litre. We'll get into the driving and how that feels to actually drive, but you're getting 45-50 mpg very easily. The owner actually said he's getting 55 on the way to work. One thing to point out though is that it's showing 103 miles in petrol. We're just under half a tank, so you know, say it's just over 200 miles for a full tank. Now the owner says £45 will fill this car up from empty, which again, from a luxury car owner that's owned V8s in his time, is insane, because I'm usually putting hundreds of pounds into petrol tanks these days. But he says it comes up around 260 miles, but he's had over 380 out of the car. Now Kia actually claim 400, just over 400, I think it's 408, that they'll actually claim in distance you'll get from a full tank. Bevy acquired today. I don't even know what this is. It's a V with a thing going around it. It was like the closest thing I could find to something that I haven't tried before. Let me know if you tried one in the comments below. We'll do the customary, is there anywhere to put a drink in this car, that we've done on a few videos now, and I'm quite enjoying. I don't know if you guys are, leave a comment below. But we will see if this smaller variety of carbonated energy beverage will go in this car. And as you can see straight away, we do have two cup holders down here next to the wireless charging pad that this car has. Fantastic. New cars coming with that. Now you can push these in and out, which is quite nice, taking you from cup holder to no cup holder. There is a circular tub of chewing gum that fits directly into that cup holder. So as cup holders go, very good. Does have a storage bin down here that will be able to fit maybe not a 1 litre bottle, but you will definitely get a 500ml bottle straight in there. And I will say, as we're in the interior, the back seats actually follow the full leather. It actually continues in the back, which is again something really silly to say on camera, but sometimes I get in some of these entry-level cars and they just haven't followed the interior backwards. So sometimes you'll get, you know, half leather or full leather front interior, but the back won't be leather. So I'm glad that Kia went to the extent of actually putting nice seats in the back as well. They're actually quite comfy, sat in there a minute ago, and quite impressed with that. Also, sunroof. How cool is that to have a sunroof in a little car like this? Anyway, I'm gonna have this and we'll do some B-road bashing, shall we? Now 84-ish brake horsepower, 83, 84 depending on how you ask on the internet. 1.2 litre manual 5-speed in 4th gear, about 2,000 RPM at 40 mile an hour. Not crazy gearing, quite relaxed gearing actually, if anything. You're able to pull off in second though, more than anything. That's quite a good talking point. If you are dailying this car, you can very, very easily keep it in second for a lot of the town driving. Not necessarily setting off from a dead stop, but it lets you definitely go off in second gear way more than I was expecting. Dynamically, it's not going to rip your face off. This is a 1.2 litre, just over 900 kilo little mini hatch, so it isn't, you know, got any sporting credentials in a sense, but you feel the lack of weight, it's not over a ton. You do feel that there is a little bit of power there, and it is incredibly chuckable. Although you're on slightly bigger wheels in this GT Line S, you're not going to necessarily break land speed records in it, but it is giving you more than I was expecting it to, which is a little bit more fun, a little bit more usability, especially down B roads such as this, a lovely B road. And it notches through the gears really nicely. Quite a long throw on the gearbox, but it's actually quite nice in a sense. It sounds weird, but you know it's in the gear. It locks into the gear quite nice. We come down to second. And it has got torque figures. It has got 122 foot-pounds, but it's actually slightly enjoyable sometimes to take a smaller engine car, a slightly lighter car, down a B road and enjoy it at its maximum. The maximum of this car can be achieved pretty easily, which is nice. Sometimes you don't need a fire-breathing ridiculous car to actually have a little bit of fun, especially in the UK, because a lot of roads are tight, twisty, off camber. This one's really off camber, this road, it's quite bad. This is sort of a very, very good place to bring a car like this, because you don't need all the power, you don't need all the grip, you don't need all of the gadgets and gizmos to get you round a corner, four-wheel drive, all this sort of stuff. This front-wheel drive little mini hatch, as I've said multiple times in this video, there is another side to it. You can have fun in it. No, it's not gonna be crazy and spin wheels and fire out the back and all this business, but as we cruise back down into a residential area, it is a good little bit of fun, this car. It has that side to it, which I'm glad it does. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. A cool little car, this, something I would have definitely looked past if I wasn't offered it and sort of told about by its owner. Warranty, really good on fuel, cheap little car, some really good features, cup holders, heated steering wheel. Does it get any better than that? If you do have a car that you want me to shoot for the channel, shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook and we'll get it on the channel. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think of the Kia Picanto GT Line S. And again, thank you so much for your support on the channel. We'll see you on the next one.